Fidget Mizzy Show. Are you two going to be doing more of those lessons, however you want to characterize it, in, say, middle schools and high schools?
We're trying to. One of the biggest factors right now is that we're incredibly busy with school.
That's
and when we did it on Monday, we actually had to miss school. And you know, it being in junior year, it's really, really hard to make up work and to get caught up on homework and stuff like that. But we actually did have a few other teachers, for instance, in Windsor Locks, in Vernon, and different towns around Connecticut, that were interested in having us come to their school and to speak about the Constitution and the Founding Fathers. So, you know, if we had more time, it's something we love doing. It's not that we don't like doing it,
Sure.
but again, just time is a big, big factor, and we're trying to kind of work things out right now the best we can.
Let me ask you this. Have you looked into getting college credit for all of this broadcasting work you're doing?
Actually, I don't think we have, because technically this is community service, and actually at our high school, I believe you need 16 hours of community service to graduate, but we accomplished all that freshman year.
Oh, wow.
But, it was a lot, but we did really, we try to basically have people appreciate what we do, because if they appreciate what we do and they like it and they watch us, then that looks good for college, which is, you know, one of our goals. Because, I mean, we would like to continue this, but the only problem is once we do get to college, we will be very busy, especially if we do go to different colleges.
Sure. Well, maybe you can... well, I don't want to get into your college career. That's for you to decide. But I guess it would be possible to have a minor in broadcasting and do something along these lines as part of your college career.
That's as a matter of fact, that's exactly what I'm going into. I do want to continue doing this, and it's funny, if you asked me, you know, 5 years ago, if I would ever be interested in politics, I would have laughed, said no, and walked out of the room. Politics was just something I never was interested in, nor was it something that I ever saw myself becoming interested in. But I think I've developed a passion for this country, and I want to preserve its true values as much as I possibly can, and that's something that I want to pursue in college. I'm actually going to be majoring in communications and minoring in political science. So again, it's basically this carried on into college.
Well, let me, before we get into some political issues, and I want to talk about some of the things that are happening politically right now, let me ask you both what you do for fun away from politics, because I think some people might be listening and thinking, wow, it's kind of sad these two kids aren't having any fun. They're just concentrating on politics. I doubt that's the case.
Connor is a big baseball fan.
Yeah, I literally spend my life around baseball. I announce the varsity baseball games with our producer, Scott. We do the baseball games, the varsity baseball games for the high school.
Wow.
And that is one of my passions, too. If anything, I am considering something maybe in like broadcasting, because I love baseball with a passion. I am awful at playing it, but I do love it so much. Right now, with baseball season started, I've been watching the Yankee games and how poorly the Red Sox have been playing, which pleases me. And I read about baseball. If there's anything I read most about, it is about the Constitution and baseball, which don't seem to go together, but those are my two passions.
You know what? You sound like George Will. He does the same thing, baseball and politics.
And you know what? My dad was saying I could be like him someday, write about baseball and politics.
Yeah, because they have a lot of aspects that cross over.
Oh, they do. As a matter of fact, and I took an AP American History course this year, and there was a unit during, I believe it was the 1950s we were talking about, and how one of the parts of the book was how baseball reflects American life, and how it's changed over the years. And they even have college courses on it. I've looked them up. At certain colleges, they basically have the history of baseball and how the history of America intertwines with that.
Have you seen the film 8 Men Out?
That is one of the few baseball movies I have not seen. I've seen Field of Dreams. I've seen Bull Durham.
Go get that. I have to recommend
film.
it. I just saw it on television again a couple of weeks ago, and it's a true story, and it's a sad story, and it's all about baseball many years ago. I think you'll find it fascinating.
Yeah, the Black Sox scandal. Yeah, that was one of the worst things that ever happened to baseball.
Yeah, it really is. Jayson, what do you do with your free time?
I'm just your typical teenager, pretty much. I just like hang out with friends. I'm in the marching band in school. I'm in the drum line. I practice very hard for that. That's always a great time.
Cool.
I do that through September, October, and into November sometimes. So that's one of my big hobbies. I play the drum set too. And just really listening to music, hanging out with friends. Going out to the movies sometimes. The last thing I think me and Connor want is for our fans to think that all we do is sit home and read books on the Constitution all day. We're normal teens behind the scenes.
That
does rhyme.
What's the best film you've seen recently?
I'm sorry?
What's the best movie you've seen recently?
The last movie I saw was Battle Los Angeles, I believe.
How'd you like that? I haven't gotten to the theater to see that yet.
Very, very good movie. Very well put together.
Yeah, it looks like it's really well done. And, of course, living here in the Los Angeles area, it has some interest for me because, I don't know, something about areas that I'm familiar with being destroyed is just great movie stuff. I love that. Let me talk now about the 2012 elections. We'll get into some political issues here because I want to get your takes on the things that America faces now. 2012 is coming up. Obama has already started his campaign. There are, who was it? I think it was, somebody on television was talking about that. Oh, it's Dick Morris, who thinks that Barack Obama will definitely face a primary challenge. What do you guys think?
If he does face one, I think it'll be Hillary Clinton. I really do. She really does seem pretty desperate to become president. I know she lost it in 2008 to Obama, and I think she'll try again. Mm-hmm. About challengers, I'm really not too sure about any challengers to Obama yet. I mean, a lot of people, considering it, but I'm not too sure.
Jason?
Well, Connor basically took the words out of my mouth. The Republicans really have no one that I believe, as it stands right now, can defeat Obama in the election. In my personal opinion, I know he's not running, but someone who I think would make a fabulous president would be Marco Rubio, simply because he seems to be very, very in touch with the Constitution, the true intentions of our founders. And that is the kind of president we need to go up against President Obama. Someone that doesn't just call themselves a Republican and then change everything that they campaigned on once they're in power. We need someone that says they will, cut taxes and then does it when they're in power. We need someone that says they will defend the Constitution and then acts upon it when they're in power. That's the kind of person we need to go up against President Obama. And currently, I don't think anyone is stepping to the plate that fits that description.
Let me say something about Marco Rubio, and I hate to take this down to a racial level, but one of the things that the Democrats fear the most in Marco Rubio is his ability to connect for the GOP with the Latino community.
Well, it's true, because I know that there are, some of the issues like the Arizona immigration law that become a little touchy when it involves Democrats and the Latino population, because generally the Latino population does vote Democrat, because generally Democrats do they're a little less strict and tough on illegal immigration, whereas the GOP prefers a much tougher stance, like border enforcement, less amnesty for illegal immigrants. Mm-hmm. I do think that will play a factor. Whether or not Rubio will run, I don't know. There will definitely be some controversy surrounding the Latino vote, though.
Tell me what you think of Donald Trump so far.
Donald Trump. I've been following him as closely as I could on the news, and I've gotten many mixed opinions about him. As of right now, I do not think that he would be a great president. I like what he's doing. I like what he's saying. But I think we need to watch this guy very closely. You know, he basically came out of nowhere and really stepped into it, and that makes me a little weary. You know, because there's always a chance that he could just be saying these things to buy the conservative vote, get into power, and then basically do what he wants, much like President Obama did, particularly with the open and transparent government, and then he got into office and did nothing like that. So I think Donald Trump, he's doing good things, but we got to make sure that he's truly passionate about restoring America and not just saying it for the votes.
Connor, it's my opinion that Donald Trump brings a lot of issues to the debate in the primaries. I'm not sure that I would want him to be president, but what he's talking about in terms of China, oil, the respect that the United States deserves around the world are much more important to me at this point than the birth certificate. And I think that these discussions are vital in the primaries. But again, I don't see any other GOP contenders who are willing to talk so openly and honestly about China, for instance, and Donald Trump is. So that brings that topic into the foreground.
Well, that's very true. I mean, Trump certainly talks the talk, and he's very charismatic, and he really is up front with the issues, which I do like him for that. I do think we need a leader who's going to be honest for once about the tough issues we're facing, such as the problems in Libya and especially the economy. And that's a positive thing about Trump, I think, is that he's a very experienced and successful businessman. So he'll know if he does run for president. Let's say he does run for president against Obama, he'll at least know how to handle the economy. But what does he know about foreign issues and things like that? Because we still have to worry. We do have many domestic problems, but we have many foreign problems too, and that's why I'm a little skeptical about Trump, just because he says all these things, but then again he always goes back to Obama's birth certificate too, which to me is not an issue at all.
Right. Another thing that I just want to point out here, one thing that you really need to look at with Donald Trump is that back in 2008, he was praising Obama and completely bashing Bush, which is another reason why I think that we really need to watch this guy and make sure that he means what he says now and isn't just, going to get into power and then go behind our backs.
The Jimmy Z Show is produced, written, and directed by Jimmy Z. The show is wholly owned by Jimmy Z, all rights reserved. Content from other sources belong to the copyright holder and/or speaker. In each case, Jimmy Z can be reached via email at thejimmyzshow@gmail.com or by calling 714-905-9591. That's 714-905-9591.